Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. My name is Huati Wulan. I am a Kazakh typeface designer from China. I recently completed my MA course in Reading. My research during the course was about the Kazakh script reforms in the 20th century. I used several Kazakh books printed in Arabic script as my source. Explained the process of the Kazakh script reforms. Discussed the typography features of this current Kazakh Arabic alphabet, which highly overlaps with the topic today. And my project was a multi-script typeface that supports a modified Arabic script used to write Uyghur, Kazakh, and Kyrgyz languages. The topic we will be discussing today is an abbreviation for these three languages. Just like we often use CJK as a short for Chinese, Japanese, and Korean, UKK can be used for Uyghur, Kazakh, and Kyrgyz. Please allow me to start today's sharing with some audio. It could be more enjoyable to listen to those languages before looking into their typography.
Hayatlıq stirelkisi yana bir davamdan halqıb ötdi. Biz vaqt kalendarının bir varaqını yırtıp taşlap, yeni bir betni etiş aldıda turmaqdimiz. Yorğu yıllar bizge xitap qılmaqda. Ey insanlar! Ecdatlarınla vaqtni bilish, vaqtdan unumli foydalanish uchun vaqtning tarixini yezib chiqqan. Vaqtning qimmatini o'lchaydigan minut, sekund, kech kunduz, oy, yil, asr, era degandek vaqt birliklarini yaratgan.
Ақыры ойладым, осы ойыма келген нәрселерді қағазға жаза берейін. Ақ қағаз бен қара сияны ермек қылайын. Кім-дегім ішінен керекті сөз тапса, жазып алсын, иә оқсын. Керегі жоқ десе, өз сөзім өзімдікі дедім де, ақыры осыған байладым. Енді мұнан басқа ешбір жұмысым жоқ.
Бұл балаңызға бордолған ноопасты сойып бердіңіз, дейді. Андатасы мындай дейді. Балам, сен ардайым жанымдасың да. Менің мал мүлкімдің бары сенікі. Бірақ бүгін қуанып тойлош керек. Себебі сенің бұл инең өлген әлі, тірілді. Жоғалған әлі, табылды.
UKK was modified to match the phonetic sounds of these three languages, which means there are letters added to represent the sounds found in the UKK languages that were absent in Arabic or Persian. And for those sounds that do not exist in UKK languages, the corresponding letters of them were not included in the alphabet. In China, there are around 13,500,000 speakers of the UKK languages, mostly living in Xinjiang. It's this area roughly marked by a red dotted line. Sitting at the crossroads of Central Asia, Xinjiang plays an important role. It's considered the transportation hub in China's Belt and Road Initiative. It is a crucial region for regional connectivity and geopolitics. Other than the Arabic script, Cyrillic and Latin script can also be used to write these languages. For instance, in Kazakhstan, the Kazakh language has been written in Cyrillic since the 1940s, and now the government of Kazakhstan is trying to make a transition from Cyrillic to Latin from 2023 until 2031. The image here is the latest published alphabet for this transition. The first column is the Kazakh Latin alphabet, and the second is the Kazakh Cyrillic alphabet. However, before Cyrillic was used to write Kazakh and Kyrgyz, it was Arabic script writing down all the stories. Here we have a letter written by a Kazakh Sultan in the year 1773. The letter was written in a local flavor of Nastaliq style. In some sources, it is mentioned that this letter is written in the Chagatai script, and that this script was once used to write UKK languages. But Chagatai is not a script. It is a Turkic language that was written in Perso-Arabic script. Thus, The so-called Chagatai script that was used to write Uyghur, Kazakh, and Kyrgyz is maybe just the Persian alphabet written in the Nastaliq style with a little local variation. The first attempt to reform the alphabet so it fits better with the language happened in the year 1912. Ahmet Baitursunoglu was a politician, a poet, a linguistic, and an educator. He excluded the Arabic letters that were not used in the Kazakh language and added letters specific to the Kazakh language. He published the book O'qu Qurali in 1912 in Orenburg, which marked the beginning of his work on devising a Kazakh alphabet. From the year 1912 to 1927, at least 15 books under the title O'qu Qurali was printed. Here on the screen, we have the 1923 edition of O'qu Qurali. The page on the right shows the letter Naf, which is an additional letter he introduced. It pronounces the sound. For instance, the word morning in Kazakh is Tangirtieng. Tangirtieng. His revision of the alphabet for the Kazakh language was completed by 1928. Here is a comparison between the three alphabets: Arabic, Persian, and Kazakh. The additional letters are marked in yellow. The letters are not in use in the Kazakh alphabet are placed on both sides with dotted box. These letters are considered to be absent in the Kazakh phonetics by Ahmet Baitursun at that time. The current Kazakh alphabet we're using today is another version based on Baitursun's alphabet revised in the year 1954 and continues to be used until today. Here on the left, we have contemporary Kazakh alphabet in the 1985 edition of the Kazakh Orthography Dictionary. This is the final version of the Kazakh Arabic alphabet. In the year 1954, a revised Uyghur alphabet was published. We can see that compared to the Kazakh alphabet, some letters are familiar to the Persian alphabet are in use. Here on the left, we have 30 letters in the 1954 edition of the Uyghur alphabet. It is just 2 letters away from the contemporary one, which is the one on the right, established in the year 1983. The Kyrgyz alphabet had a similar journey. Here we have 3 Kyrgyz alphabets from different times. We can see that the time of alphabet reforms are quite similar for all these 3 languages. The one on the left is from the 1930s, which is revised based on the Persian alphabet, also known as Chagatai script. In the middle is the alphabet established following the establishment of Kızılsu Kyrgyz Autonomous Prefecture in Xinjiang in 1954. And the finalized edition on the right was established in 1983, the current alphabet. There was a period of time from the 1960s to the 1980s when a revised Latin alphabet was experimentally applied to these 3 languages. It was used alongside the modified Arabic. But in the end, it was not accepted by the speakers. Here are some cutouts from a Kazakh grammar book printed in Chinese and the so-called the new Kazakh script printed in the year 1982. In the same year, the resolution to officially use Uyghur Arabic and Kazakh Arabic alphabets was approved. I was not able to find the original document of this resolution, but here we have this piece of text that was included in a law book. The resolution was made in 1982, but the establishment of all the alphabets was around 1983 to 1985. Done with the brief history, let's take a quick look at the features. The UKK is alphabetic, and we use European numerals instead of Persian or Arabic numerals. By European numerals, I mean the so-called Arabic numerals that come with Latin script. But in this sharing, I will say European numerals instead. Hyphenation, which is not something familiar in Arabic script, is adopted by the UKK language, and we can still see the use of it today. The image on the right is from a Kazakh newspaper. We can see the use of hyphenation pointed out by the yellow triangles. And lower bit of the image we can see European numerals in Kazakh Arabic text. Okay. Let's take a look at the alphabet. The three alphabets of UKK languages share many letters and most of the features. Thus, information technology-wise, they are often treated together. In the National Standard Document GB/T 21669-2008, UKK was sorted into different charts. We have characters shared by the three languages, exclusively used characters for Uyghur, Kazakh, and Kyrgyz, and characters shared by two languages. Kazakh and Kyrgyz languages are closer to each other than to the Uyghur language. Thus, they have more shared characters among them. It is noteworthy that the character in the yellow box in the bottom left is the letter Fa, not Kaf, with one dot above. The Unicode it was given is 0641. The letter Fa is quite different in UKK compared to the one in Arabic. Instead of sitting on the baseline, it has a ball below the baseline. It shares the basic shape with the letter Kaf. The reason for this has yet to be discovered. My guess is that it could be just a mistake in the long process of modifying the script, or it is just easier to produce the character in the metal type making process, since you can just take the basic shape from the letter Kaf. We have submitted a document to the Unicode Technical Committee discussing this issue. If you're interested in this matter, you can Google L2/20-293 for further information. In Uyghur alphabet, there are some letters that come with a hamza above an initial ba or a tooth. They are vowels in Uyghur. They can be written with hamza or without hamza depending on the context. This letter is often designed with a dash, which far as I know is not very well accepted among the Kyrgyz speakers. Although it still needs to be discussed, I personally designed it with a loop. The Dhamma shape in UKK is preferred to be filled in instead of a loop. It often looks like a comma. The letter H in Arabic pronounces A in UKK. Its Unicode point is 06D5 instead of 0647. H in UKK is shown below. It is rare to see European numerals in Arabic script. However, in the UKK it is already a normal thing. The text is read from right to left, while the numerals are read from left to right. In the UKK typefaces I've seen, the numerals are just tabular lining figures based on the serif Latin model. They often stand out too much. It would probably be better if they were old style figures and had a little bit of Arabic stroke modulation. Hyphenation is not generally practiced in Arabic script, but it is here. In the UKK, the hyphen sits on the baseline. The use of it is similar to English. The hyphenation in UKK is inserting a hyphen between the two adjacent characters in the same word to break the word into two lines. When doing so, the last character in the first line and the first character in the second line would remain in the joining form. Here in the image, we can see hyphens breaking the words. In the amplified image on the bottom right, we can see the hyphenated characters remaining in their joining form. The hyphenation and the linear form of Kashida are now two main ways of justification in typesetting UKK, but widely abused. The image on the top is from a book by Metal Type and the one below is by Digital Typesetting. You can see words are very stretched by this linear form of Kashida, which leads to a bad reading experience and also slows down the reading speed. This image is from another book. It is also Digital Typesetting. You can see the serious amount of Kashida. In Kazakh language, there is a vowel mark, high hamza. It's called dayakshe in Kazakh. There are 4 letters that have a high hamza. They're all front vowels. I would refer to them as high hamza letters or the front vowels. In text, high hamza often precedes the first letter of the word. In this image, the high hamza words are pointed out by a right triangle. Among UKK, the high hamza is only used in the Kazakh language. In the text, High hamza indicates that the vowels in the word following it are front vowels, which are marked yellow in this page. The rule only applies to those words that follow the vowel harmony rule of the Kazakh language, mostly native words. The high hamza often appears at the beginning of a word that contains the high hamza letters. It disappears when there are letter gaf, kaf, and a in the word. It is because, in the Kazakh language, these three letters only appear in native Kazakh words that contain just front vowels. However, there are exceptions, those words that do not fall under the vowel harmony rule of the Kazakh language. For instance, the Kazakh word muallim, shown on the right side of the screen, means teacher in Kazakh. It was introduced from Arabic. Here in this word, the vowels are front vowels, marked with yellow triangles, and there is no gaf, kaf, or a. As I mentioned earlier, there should be a high hamza at the beginning of the word, but this word just doesn't have a high hamza. The last bit of my sharing would be talking about the influence of simplified typefaces. Let's look at some examples first. Here are two editions of the same title, Til Qural, which is a Kazakh language textbook. The one on the left is a 1914 edition published in Nuremberg. It was typeset with a simplified Arabic typeface. The other one is the 1922 edition published in Tashkent. It was printed with the lithography method. The titles on both of the covers got my attention. The one on the right is quite similar to the one on the left. Here's a closer look. Some of you may have noticed that the Dhamma in the image on the top is not filled in like I mentioned earlier. That is because here it was replaced by a small size letter vowel. But let's leave this aside and compare these two images. It's easy to see that the title of the 1922 edition is a mimic of the one in the 1914. The lithography printed title is, unfortunately, a poor imitation of the metal type printed title, which was printed in a simplified typeface. The means of lithography offers an accurate representation of the written forms, which is at that time a good method if you want to properly print Arabic script. But here, somehow the scriber just decided to copy the rigid shapes of this simplified typeface. This Kazakh primer book was published by the Xinjiang Education Publishing House in 2003. Its purpose is to educate children on how to read and write the alphabet. It is quite interesting that, if you put the same letter together and compare them, you will find that the letters in this book are not from a typeface. They are scanned lettering, mimicking a simplified typeface, or in other words, it was written following a simplified model. This image is the writing practice section. I have typed some letters around it using Tabriziya Jali. We can see the differences between the simplified lettering in the image and the letters in the typeface, which is closer to writing tradition. These letterings were intended to serve as a model for the students to study writing, but yet they have strayed away from the writing tradition of the Arabic script. It leads to a scene like this. These are practice works I gathered from social media. There are different people practicing calligraphy work following a simplified model, which is not in line with the writing tradition of the script. Thank you for your time and attention today. UKK is quite an interesting subject with a lot of users, although it is not well supported by most of the Arabic typefaces yet. There are also details I didn't get to cover in this sharing. I'm open to further discussions. Feel free to drop me an email or just a casual message on Instagram. Cheers!